Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nilesh Ralgi and you are watching Techie Programmer. So today in this video we are going to understand the data types in Python. So in this video the notes I will be providing not as a PDF file, but I will just directly give you the link to the Python file at the end, whatever we write in this whole lecture, so that you can just download the file and run in your system so that you can just go step by step to understand what is going inside. So let's get started. We are going to understand the data types in Python. So there are about 6 data types. First one is int, float, list, tuple, dictionary, and sets. We will go one by one with an example. Let me just explain you briefly what is int. Int is nothing but integer data type. An example for integer would be any number. Let me just take it as 12 or 16 or 17 or any 200. Whatever the number is, an integer number is example for an integer value. Coming to the float value, float stands for floating points or point value. So for example, for that would be an example would be 3.14. You can just give an example, random example. Then coming to the list, list can be any list. Let me just give you an example. Example would be a list of number. Let me just say a list of number. And okay, if I want a list of number that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or just a sequence of number or a sequence of data types. Okay, so this is an example for a list. Tuple is similar to list, but we will understand what is the difference between a list and a tuple in few minutes as we proceed in the video. So just understand that is similar to a list. We'll just differentiate it in the upcoming. Then example for a dictionary would be kind of a key value pair. You can just say key value, wherein there is a key like the key has an assigned value. For example, if I say something xyz, then it has its own value 1 2 3, something like that. The key value pairs, this is a dictionary, comes in a pair order. We will just understand even this, how to declare and how to use that. Then later coming to the sets, if you are familiar with sets, we just write it in the curly braces like this. And then we define whatever our list is. Then we will just check it out, like we will understand even this also. So after giving an example, let us see how the actually code looks. For this, like if I want to declare a variable with integer data, the integer data type would be like, for example, if I want to say a variable called var, and if I want to set it to an integer data type, then I can just set it to 12, for example, in this case, and I can even check the type of it. So what I will do is I will just show that it is integer data type. So I will just print type. Let me just type print, then t type, which tells me the type of the data. Then I will pass my variable, that is var. Let me just show you. Let me just print this here. Then you can see here it says int. So here you can see var, that is var is equals to 12, is an integer data type. So once done with this, let me just show you an example for float. So float, as I said, it's a floating value. Let me just redefine the var and let me set it to 3.14, and then let me just print the same. Okay, so let me just run this, and here you can see first one is the int, second is the float, that is 3.14 value is our float value. Then coming to the list, we will define list as something like it has a structure. Let me just show you. For example, if I said list var equals to, so if this is my variable for the holding the list, then what I can do is, the list is written in square braces, so make sure you write it in the square braces. Then you can write your sequence. For example, if I want to write a data 1 2 3 4 5, for example, in this case 1 2 3 4 5, so this is a list. Like this is a list of number. You can just go with a list of strings, list of names, list of floating values, or you can just add a list of integer, list of floating values all together at once. And even you can make a list of list, like nested lists. But we will not deal with that right now. As a basic, the understanding the list, how it looks, is pretty enough to understand right now. Then next, let me just go with checking the type. Let me just rename my variable, that is list underscore var. Then let me just run at the end. Till then I would like to show you how the tuple looks. So tuple, let me just show you, let me just rename it as tuple underscore var, make a tuple variable. You can just name it anything. Just make sure you do not use it as the name as keyword, and just follows the rule for writing the identifiers. Then you can just write, the tuple is written in simple braces, something like this, and then you can write your sequence. Let me just go with the few numbers like similar to the list. Okay, so here you can see both like the list and the tuple are kind of looking similar, but the major difference is whenever we can access the values from the list as well as the tuple, but the major difference is that we cannot modify or add values in the tuple, wherein we can alter the values and the contents of list. So this is the major difference between the list and the tuple. You can just imagine tuple to be as a constant things, that is that container is completely packed. You can just look, like you can just, it's like a glass container, you can just have a look at it and you can extract the data from it, but you cannot add a new data in it. You can just access the data, but you cannot add or append to that or remove anything. So this is how the list and the tuple are differentiated, or the difference between the list and the tuple. Let me just go and print the type for this. So let me just try tuple tuple var. Let me just, I will just be running this all at once so that understanding makes easy, and let me just keep it simple. So dictionary, as I said in an example, it is a set of key and a value pair. For example, what if I want to do is there is, like, we have something data wherein we say name is this and last name is this and age is xyz. So let me just show you how, if I would, that would be the content, and how would I write it as a dictionary. So let me just define my variable called dict underscore var. Then dictionary is written in curly braces, and then what we do is we define our key. For example, if I want to write a key as, let me just go with an example here. If the key is name and the value associated with that name is, if it is Techie, and if I want to add a new entry into this, I will just have to add a comma there. And here you can see in order to make it as a key value pair, we use this colon. This is key and this is our value. When I say name, it refers to Techie here. And let me just add a last name here, programmer, so something like that. And if I would like to add a age, so let me just add something as age. Then if I would like to write it as 20, then this is how it looks. So this is the structure of our dictionary. And to make sure it is a dictionary, let me just type, like print the type of it. Let me just rename my variable. So this is how the dictionary looks. And lastly, we have our set. You can just think sets, if you have already done few college exercise, then you might have an idea how the set looks and what is a set. For example, if there is a repeated value, for example, if I say like, let me just set a variable, and if I say, if with an example of 1 2 3 4 5 6, okay, and if I repeat a 6 again and a 4 again and 3 again, and if I try printing this, what it does is it just prints or collapse or makes a single value, which, for example, if there is a repetition of some values, it just ignores the rest of the value and just makes it a unique one. For example, if you go with this, the example, it will just take 1 2 3 4 5 and take the 6, and then it will ignore the second 6. Then it will not take the 4 and 3 because that is already in the set itself. So this is how the set works. This stands for uniqueness of the data you add. So this is where the set come into the picture, and to show that it is a set, what I can do is like perfect, that is set var. Okay, here let me just run this for a while so that you can compare this. then later we will check out how does that again look. So here you can see, as we had a list, it's integer. First one is an integer, then we have a float, then we have a list, tuple, dict stands for dictionary, then we have a set. So we have shown, like I have shown you all the types and examples for all the data types here and how do they look. And in the next video, what we are going to do is we are going to go with each and every data type and understand how to access the value, how to add a value, how it looks, etc, etc, like how to picturize that everything. So till then, this is the end for this video. That's it for today. I will be adding the link to this file in the description, so make sure you just grab that file and test your data. That's it for today. See you in the next video, and if you have made till the end, do like, share and subscribe. So see you soon.